This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and believe it or not, I finally got my hands on a CancelCon exclusive. It only took checking the page every freaking day since my order was canceled to finally be able to order them, and it was not even canceled this time, but shipped to me. So hooray! I am kind of excited about this one because I really do like this figure. At least I like the idea. Pretty much every 2000X figure I could say I probably don't have, as I've only bought a handful of them, and pretty much all of them was after the series was over. Although that being said, I did get both versions of the original He-Man design, the one with the cross on the front and then the one with his H on the front, because Walgreens of all places had the first one. But that being said, this is of course 2000X cartoon collection, and this is our He-Man, the most powerful samurai in the universe. On the side here, we have He-Man kind of looking off to the side like, hey Tila, what do you think? You like the armor? Bet you do. And then on the other side, we got him looking pretty stoic and ready to kick some ass. Skeletor better beware. And finally, on the back, we have, as seen on, the mystery of Anwat Gar, which is supposed to be the home of the Gar, which, of course, Keldor was half Gar and half Eternia. And as the popular story goes, the Gar actually crash landed on Eternia and made a home there. Depending upon what continuity you go with would also determine which version of it you see. Skeletor is up there in the background, also in samurai armor. Who knows, maybe he'll be next year's CancelCon exclusive. However, as we look at this, you can fit his power sword in hand. And while this doesn't really have a wave, it does show us 3 of the previously released deluxes, 2 of which I've reviewed. The middle one there, I keep on hoping I'll find one where they didn't crush the fucking box. We have Beastman, the savage henchman, Ram Man, the heroic human battering ram, and of course Clawful, the warrior with the grip of evil. Let's go ahead and open them up, shall we? So correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe this is the first deluxe He-Man figure in this line that we got that actually came with one of these little card things like we used to get all the time with the deluxe figures. Maybe because he's a Walmart exclusive. He did go up for order well before anything else came out for the 2000X line. But we do have his little white sheet that shows all the parts that come off. And the shoe wear does in fact come off. I'm very surprised to see that. I was not expecting that at all. Let's take a look at the card. The card has the same image as the side of the box. He-Man looking like he's getting ready to kick some ass. He-Man, the most powerful samurai in the universe. Using the legacy stones on the lost isle of Anwat Gar, the mighty He-Man summons a battle the evil Skeletor. So as you can see, the footwear is in fact a separate piece from him. So is the calf piece. Like, it's kind of tough to call these accessories, but the original gimmick for the Samurai Armor He-Man in the 2000X, I believe, was a spring-loaded feature. So the idea being that he could jump extra high. And that's kind of what they're trying to represent here with these things. But obviously we don't have that feature. His loincloth does have a slightly different design here. Still using the plain crotch piece. Looks like... where? This is interesting. Look at that. Hold on. The armor comes off. I thought it was just a new torso. But the armor itself is... Get your head out of the way. I don't want you to give me any more head, He-Man. But yeah, look at that. The armor is actually a separate piece. I thought for sure that these things were supposed to be connected to here and on the back. But they are just connected at the shoulder here, as you can see. He does have his place for a sword. Obviously, the clip goes in there. You know, they definitely have come up with better clipping systems with the new figures than what they started with. But yeah, I honestly thought that this was just a whole new torso. Just to put there, maybe you can see it here. they do kind of give a chainmail look there. Oh, dude, look at this. Even the bracers. Even the bracers are new. I wonder if they're supposed to slide and snap into place like the previous ones did, like that. Like we saw with what figure was it I looked at where it had the bracers that slipped into place like this? I don't remember. Crap. Well, anyway. You know, I don't know if maybe I'm just getting weaker, but it's getting harder and harder to put those things back in place. All right, so we do have the standard He-Man head sculpt, and then we have the helmet that goes with him. It bulges out to give the samurai shape. And it actually looks pretty nice, honestly. I will say, like, I know his Power Sword doesn't really change colors and stuff in this show, except for did the snake blade thing where it opened up. But I will say, it's a bit disappointed that they didn't recolor this to go along with the armor this time. But we can fit the sword back there if we want. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of articulation issues with this figure, though. So the head is on a ball joint. Moves around. Honestly, the helmet doesn't really interfere as much as his hair still does. But part of the reason with the hair interfering is because, of course, the harness, like the entire shirt, chainmail shirt here. The arms, of course, can spin forward. They get caught up in the pauldron. Back. Same thing. Out. Whoa. Out. Looking good. Single joint at the elbow. And we can spin it a bit. Wrist spins. Up and down articulation on that hand. In and out on this hand, as per usual. We can do a 360 at the waist. Honestly, I think it tends to be the armor and stuff that causes these things to pop around so much. Now, this does have a cut here on the side towards the front, so we can kick forward about that far. We can kick back about that far. And we can kick out about like that, but then that thing pushes on the belt, and the belt pushes on the torso, and the torso falls off. And then it looks like Skeletor cut him in half. Single joint in the knee, and it feels like the knee is actually properly in place, unlike our Prince Adam recently. And of course, we do have the hinge at the ankle and the spin down there. Obviously, the extended boot here does affect that. These are just clipped on, so you can take that off. All of a sudden, I'm thinking of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z with that. Hey, look, I think it's the first time I got the sword in hand without actually messing up the fingers. You know, I was really excited about this figure, and while it doesn't have all the gimmicks that the original version did back in the 2000s, I still like this figure. I think he looks really good. I mean, my one complaint is the Power Sword, but again, as I kind of mentioned, I don't think it changed colors at all in the episode either, so it's still cartoon accurate. I just think, for toy's sake, it would have been kind of great if they had, like, maybe painted the hilt and the pommel on it, you know? But this guy was a bitch to get your hands on. Like, I was one of the first people who ordered, and I'm positive this figure stayed up on their website for a day or so, and I had my order canceled, and it pissed me off because I was, again, probably one of the first people to order it. I don't know why Walmart keeps on selecting me to cancel shit from, and I see these other people who sometimes talk about how they ordered multiple figures and got them all. Hopefully they'll give us a samurai armor Skeletor to go with him, and the sad thing is, I doubt we'll get a standard Battle Cat to start with, and we sure aren't going to get the samurai armor Battle Cat. And when you look at it, we didn't get a Battle Cat in the cartoon collection for Filmation either. We got Cringer. You know, it's nice that we did get Cringer, but we didn't get a Battle Cat. So I don't think we'll see that in the 2000X series, which sucks. I would like to see King Grayskull though, and also to go with the King Grayskull Battle Lion. But again, if we're not going to get Battle Cat, we probably won't get Battle Lion. And we certainly aren't going to get Battle Lion in the size that it should be. Although, they could take the Masterverse or the Chronicles version and then put a lion's head and mane on it, and you could have a nice sized cartoon collection version of Battle Lion, because that probably would be closer to the right size than what we would get otherwise. But why don't you guys let me know what you think of our Samurai Armor He-Man here, and do you want to see Samurai Armor Skeletor also? But if you did enjoy this review, please feel free to call upon the power of Grayskull to hit that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, you can subscribe. Maybe you'll want to give a little slice of that notification bell. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.